All right, Carla, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's get this done. Come on. Fire myself up. Let's get going. Let's do this.
Yeah, you need to fire yourself up.
Got to.
Djokovic does it all the time.
Here we go. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another 5K Tennis podcast. It is still very, very young in the 2019 ATP and WTA seasons, and here we are on episode number 17.
17, wow.
Come
Do you remember
on.
when you were 17?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
At least bits and pieces,
Yeah.
but I do.
Yeah, some good times.
Some good times, some
Yeah.
tough times, but hey, life's tough anyway, right?
Yes, it is.
So come on. All right. So I will put a link above from yesterday's show. Again, all these shows are a direct continuation of the previous day's shows, at least during majors, and roughly the previous, or the show 3 days previous, or 2 days previous during non-major times. So in case you missed it and you want to catch up on topics or discussions or match results or what we have talked about leading up into the following day's matches, click a link below. Click the link above and you can catch right up, or jump in right here if you are new to this channel and jump on board and let's ride.
Yeah.
All right, so as always, I always like to do big shout outs to everyone involved in the discussions and topics and comments leading up into the current day shows. So big shout outs from yesterday to the following: Wayne Chia, long time, much love. Stefan Nizovic, the Tennis Review Factory, nice to see you yesterday involved. Rajesh Kumar, Rajesh Jr. loves you. I will give him a quick display of his skills. All right, Rajesh, so R2 is right here with us in the flesh. By the way, the book, this Vic Braden's Tennis for the Future, is just something I grew up with. Check it out if you've never checked it out before. It's quite old, but quite valuable, especially for beginners. Yvonne Gallup, much love to you. Ivor Savage, the owner of YTEX Strings, a beautiful human being with a wonderful company. We love you a lot. YTEX Strings in of themselves for being a big part of our 5K tennis and out of our crew and our high school team that we coach. Dave Raines, much love to you in Cincinnati. We love you a lot. My father and longtime coach who always is involved. Her father and her longtime coach who is always involved. Simone Simonovic, much love to you, bro, especially for checking up on me when Federer loses. AJ Malfoy, much love to you. Millennium 13 Constantine, always involved. Ethan D.A., much love to you. And Arvish Yagamar, a brilliant sports writer, tennis blogger that always gives us great feedback.
Yes, he does.
All right, so big shout out to you guys. Today in the United States, by the way, is a celebration day for an extremely big-time fighter. A guy that grinded out his fight and beliefs in himself to the very end, and that is Martin Luther King. I mention this because I think all of us here in this group and the family we have created and us here in this home, we like to think of ourselves as fighters. Ultimately, Martin Luther King fought for what he believed in and ultimately paid the ultimate price. Great job, Martin Luther King, wherever you may be. I'm sure it's in all the best places. You are a true soldier for a cause and an inspiration to all of us.
Definitely.
Great job, great job. All right, so we have had some requests to spend a little bit more time on match breakdowns today.
I agree, yeah. I love talking about the matches.
I do too. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up a quick topic of the day really quickly.
Okay.
And then we're going to push right into the results from the round of 16 yesterday. And then we're going to review all the quarterfinal matches. The quick topic that I'm going to bring up, and we have spoken about this before last year at length, or last season at length. This topic came in, however, from Rajesh Kumar, family friend, household name with my kids, with my family, and he brought it up again this year, and I would like to discuss it just for a moment.
Okay.
All right? So here's the topic of the day. It comes again from Rajesh, and we have discussed this before. So I'm going to read you his topic that he wanted us to bring up. All right, so Rajesh mentioned yesterday. Quick questions to you guys. How come guys like Nick Kyrgios get away with his behavior on the court? Doesn't the ATP have rules? Once or twice, Maybe even a third time, they might be lenient, but throughout his entire career, he has been like the typical thug or that thug-type behavior on the court. Okay, CARLA responded to this yesterday, and I had to kind of think about it. I've never changed my thoughts on this, but I kind of had to think about it for a minute. So CARLA responded to Rahesh, should not be allowed, great question, terrible example for up-and-coming players.
It is a terrible example.
You want to elaborate before I?
First of all, I think it's garbage that they even allow this, but my guess is they do it because they just want to advertise tennis. You always have to have a bad boy in tennis like John McEnroe. But when you have up-and-coming juniors watching this, they think it's okay to act this way, so therefore they have no respect for the game. I would like tennis to be a gentleman's sport, not be like some other sports, football, where they're always thugging out, or basketball.
Wait a minute, hold on. There's gentlemen in every sport, and there's those that don't act like gentlemen, or ladies for that matter, in every sport. There's gentlemen in every sport, by the way.
I'm not saying there isn't.
You can't isolate football or basketball.
I'm just saying,
sure, we see more of it.
Okay, let me rephrase it.
We can't forget about the gentlemen on the sideline.
We see more of it. We see more of it there. And I mean, I think that probably the ATP wants someone to be the bad boy. We had John McEnroe, back in the 70s, 80s?
Yeah. So
Kyrgios is, I guess, the bad boy in this era. I don't know.
All right, so...
But he's not a great tennis player. I mean, John McEnroe had Grand Slams. Nick Kyrgios doesn't.
So I'm going to give my quick feedback, and then the comment section will open up for all of you, so we can give those people that requested more breakdown their request in less time speaking about the topics. Is ultimately, that's what the comment field is for anyway.
Right.
And then we can discuss those comments tomorrow. My response to Rahesh was this. Rahesh, it's a very tricky question. It's quite complicated dealing with punishing anyone these days. McEnroe is great at acting like a buffoon. There's nothing new about this. What I'm trying to say here is in this day and age, the world is becoming more crowded, and everyone is closer together. It doesn't matter if you're in Serbia, Antarctica for that matter. We're a cell phone tap away from some platform where human beings can just tee off on one another. People lose their jobs over what someone may say on a social media platform. Hence why we try to keep it family friendly here, right? People can get in real heaps of trouble by what they type on these platforms. You know, when it first came out, no big deal, but now these things are punishable in the court of law, right?
Yeah.
So, as we look at this very interesting topic, we have to understand that when we bring up punishing somebody or not punishing somebody, you have one side that will agree and one side that will disagree, hence why we have juries. So when we have two sides that are going to end up fighting it out, stuff can really hit the fan. The crap can hit the fan really quickly, correct?
Yes, it can.
So, Rahesh said, you know, well, look, this guy's been this way throughout his entire career. Just look at his interviews, his post-match interviews. I told Rahesh, yes, this is true, but there's nothing new about this. We can go back to the times of gladiators where they were fighting lions and other people in the rings of Rome for their freedom or to be out of slavery, and they had post-fight interviews, and they spoke trash back in the day. So there's nothing new in humanity about people being schmucks in their post-interviews or the way they act in their field of play. My response was, Rahesh, yes, same with John McEnroe and so many others. I personally have seen so many players act childish ever since I was a junior, starting at about the age of 5, playing tennis tournaments all over the country. Have you not seen people even at the junior ranks acting like fools?
Many, even the parents.
So between the parents, between the players,
coaches,
this is nothing new. Alas, nowadays in 2019, it's cool to give these people mass exposure because ultimately the buffoon act sells more now than ever.
That's a fact. That's
the solution, in my opinion, is to give these buffoons less coverage. However, it sells, so in the world and marketing in which we live, then the business owners or those that buy into what's popular are going to sell it. So what we have is sales of extreme, ridiculous behavior, and more so. I want to put this last nugget out for Rahesh and everyone else. In the days of knights and castles, we had jesters, clowns basically, that would entertain the nobility, right? Mm-hmm. Now we have the likes of the Kyrgioses and excessive celebrations in the end zones.
You got Tomic.
We have people that make three-point shots and start blasting their chest. it goes on and on. We have people that shoot billiards, and they get done making a shot, and they're freaking out. We have people that bowl. They get done hitting a strike, and they're acting like jesters. So there's nothing new about this. The ultimate way to solve it, I think, is less exposure. But you comment on it below. But I know as an athlete my entire life, I know my father's been an athlete his entire life, her father, my sister, her brother, our kids. We go to tournaments all over the place, and there's never a shortage of jesters or clowns.
Well, I think honestly tennis is a dying sport, so therefore they need him to promote the sport more. In a negative way, but they still use him to promote it.
Comment fields below, comment on that. We're going to jump right into a long session of match review and draw breakdowns. And this is a shout out to Arvis Jagemeyer, who's been a longtime friend of ours. That's a great sports writer. He wanted to spend a lot more time today breaking down draws. And we had the same request last year from a lot of you as well. And we're going to grant that request today. So we will do the review of the round of 16 matches from yesterday. And also recap all of the quarterfinal matches that are coming. You ready, Carla?
Sure.
I'm going to check time, but go ahead and start with match number 1 from last night.
Are we starting with the women's?
With the women's.
All right, first match. Simona Halep from Romania was defeated by Serena Williams from the USA in 3 sets. Serena won the first set 6-1. Halep took the second 4-6. And Serena, being the champ that she is, took it at 6-4. Great match. Both players were very aggressive. They were hitting the ball. This is the type of tennis that you want to see. Not just going back to the middle, which I'm tired of seeing in these women's, rounds. We've been watching a lot of ladies hit back to the middle or hit ridiculous balls out. These girls were actually working hard at it.
Yeah, I think I'll try to clarify and process what you just said. Carla and I do not talk about these matches before. We like to kind of battle back and forth with it. I agree with what she just said. I think what I gathered from that is a lot of the matches that we have watched this year seem to look like the women especially are pushing the ball back and forth into the middle of the court or just off center, not painting lines, and there's nothing wrong with not painting the lines. It's risky, but not even close. Up the center, back to the center, up the center,
well, they don't
back
even
to the center.
come to the net.
And it seems like it's just a defensive battle, and we're waiting for the air. And I think that with Serena and even the Sharapova before her suspension, these are players that would gamble more often.
Kvitova gambles.
And I'm not saying that they're gambling, because gambling would kind of say, well, this is
They're
lucky.
aggressive. They're aggressive.
They're aggressive.
I've never seen so many women hit a shot and they have their other player on the defense and wait for that ball to come back to the baseline and work even harder. I watched Serena and even Halep were approaching the net if they had their opponent on the run, which is the type of tennis we should be teaching.
Yeah, well, in the match last night that we watched, Serena came out, played very aggressively as usual. Halep tossed in some aggressive play in the second set, and what happened? She won the second set. And the third set was a great battle. Serena remained aggressive, and Halep went back to about 50% aggressiveness and about 50% defending. And Serena's aggressive play took her through that match. But that was an epic match. I enjoyed that match, and I was glad to see Serena make it through.
Well, it just makes you question, can she win this Grand Slam? I think so. I mean, she just beat the #1 player, and she's still not 100% fit or 100% back, in my opinion.
I agree with you. Yeah. Serena will have a very tricky quarterfinal, so let's get to the Muguruza-Pliskova match, and then we'll discuss that quarterfinal.
Well, Karolina Pliskova from the Czech Republic defeated Garbine Muguruza from Spain, 6-3, 6-1. Took her down easily. I did expect her to win this match. Not so easy. I didn't expect the score to be that lopsided.
I didn't expect it that easy either. I think yesterday we discussed it was a coin toss. I do have Pliskova on my fantasy team, so I was happy to see her win. I'm not happy to see Muguruza having such a rocky road, though. After having a great year 2 years ago, she's got a couple of majors in her pocket.
Good for her.
And she just hasn't come back 100% after those 2 majors. Kind of Anna Ivanovic-esque.
She won 2 slams. I mean,
well, Ivanovic won 1.
Yeah, she won a Wimbledon. Wimbledon is, we're going to have to get back into that argument. I think Wimbledon is a little bit more prestige than French Open.
Well, absolutely. Well, they're all majors. I think they're all pretty prestigious.
Yeah, but I think, would
wait
you rather hold a Wimbledon Cup or a French Open Cup?
Okay, so...
For me, U.S. Open Cup. Okay.
You just knocked your own player. Wait a minute, hold on. You can't even say anything here. Her favorite player is Rafael Nadal.
He's the king of play.
You bleed Rafael Nadal.
But
so wait a minute. Hold on. Can I speak? Because now you're on the defense. Now you're being defensive and I'm being aggressive. Her favorite player is Rafael Nadal, hands down by leaps and miles. If anybody plays him, she hates his opponent. He's got 11 French Opens.
I know.
So okay, let's take all the 11 French Opens away because they're not that important. So that leaves him with 6.
Oh, Justin, that's 11.
Whatever.
11. Anna Ivanovic won 1.
But you just said Wimbledon was more prestigious.
But you're calling Garbine Muguruza? You're putting her in the same category as Anna Ivanovic? She won 2. Wimbledon is tough to win.
The French isn't? If so, you just not your own player that won 11 of not so difficult tournaments.
She's got 2.
You make no sense.
2 to 1. 2 to 1. She's a much better player than Anna Ivanovic was.
I would rather.
Is she not a better player than?
I would rather Djokovic or Federer to beat Nadal any day. I'm just telling you, but I'm not going to say, oh, well, Nadal's a schmuck because he won only French Opens. I know people say that.
He's the king of clay. He won 11.
Oh.
All right, whatever.
Does anyone agree with her on this?
You can't. You're comparing Anna Ivanovic to Muguruza. You cannot.
How come
you can compare her to Bartoli because they're 1-1, or Wozniacki 1-, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you're telling me based upon last night's Muguruza performance that if you put Muguruza as of last night, she's still playing in her prime, and got Anna Ivanovic in her prime, you're going to tell me that Anna Ivanovic wouldn't beat Muguruza?
No.
What?
Muguruza has
based upon how Muguruza's been playing, and you put Ivanovic.
Muguruza has obviously. If we look at titles, I'm sure she. First of all, they're not even my favorite player, so why are we arguing about this? But you're telling. Anyways, let's go to the next match. You're wasting time.
You're telling me Muguruza. You're telling me Muguruza and
she won 2 slams and she's made many finals. She's a much better player.
Wait a minute. According to you, one of her slams doesn't even matter. But yet,
I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
But yet, Nadal's 11 slams do matter. This is what Rahash was saying or was it Simone Simonovic or somebody? When Djokovic tears his shirt off, you think it's bratty. But when anybody else does it, you don't say anything. That's because Djokovic is Nadal's nemesis, and that's a fact. Let's move forward.
No. Anyone doing
We're going to run out of time on this show in this one match. You make no sense.
You're in a bad mood, aren't you?
No, I love you.
Okay. First of all, Djokovic tearing his shirt up, I don't like it, and I don't like Tiafoe going like, you're the one that praised him for that.
All right, let's go.
All right, so Pliskova is playing against Serena. Their head-to-head record, Serena's up 2-1. The last time they faced each other was at the 2018 U.S. Open, where Serena beat her in 2 sets. The last time Pliskova won was in 2016 on hard court.
This will be a good match. I do think Serena will win this match. Pliskova is due, though, and she is more fit than Serena right now, so I can't wait for this match. I won't be shocked if Pliskova wins it, because based upon fitness level at this point, she should, but because of Serena's fire,
I go with Serena on this one.
I think I'm going to go with Serena
on
this one.
I'll go with Serena on 3 sets. Next match, Naomi Osaka from Japan defeated Anastasia Sevastova from Latvia in 3 sets, 4-6, 6-3, 6-4.
Great match.
It was a great match. Sevastova has a lot of nice touch, to her game. She knows how to put angles. Another match where they were hitting side to side and being aggressive, I thought.
Yeah, Sevastova, too, is a fiery, feisty. I've heard other commentators and other bloggers say a lot of pretty harsh words about how feisty she can be. Something along the lines of, I'd hate to meet that girl in the alley behind the bar at night. She'll whoop you down. Stuff like that. Sevastova is a firecracker.
Osaka had to fight to win this match.
She had to fight. This was a great match. This could have gone either way. Osaka dug deep, but Sevastova can slice on you. She can hit the ball hard on you. She's got a nice serve. She's got an all-court game. The only thing I don't like about Sevastova is every time there's a point that she misses, she stares at her box or stares at someone and yells at them.
Like Zverev?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about Zverev's match in a minute, but Sevastova is a feisty player, a tricky player, and she can be powerful and she can be a finesse player. I do not like the fact that every time she loses a point, she finds someone to yell at to blame for her mistakes. Our health tip yesterday, take responsibility for your mistakes.
I agree.
She tends to blame everybody, and I think that's a problem with her game.
Osaka dug deep for this one. Next match, which I was bummed about, and I lost her in my fantasy group, Madison Keys from the USA went down to Elena Svitolina from Ukraine in 3 sets, 4-6, 6-2, 1-6, 6-1.
This was a really weird match because the first set, Svitolina won 6-2. The second set, she lost
1-6, and you thought Madison Keys was going to run with it.
Well,
she didn't.
The third game of the third set was at 1-1, and there was a 17-minute game. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and it was unforced errors. Not that they were playing tough; they were missing ridiculous shots.
So the third game of the third set went 17 minutes for simply Svitolina to get a hold. That was grueling. It almost seemed like after that game, it was the end of the match, and Keys did not win another game and lost the third set 6-1.
You know, to me, it seems like Madison Keys does not think out there when she's playing. She just hits the ball.
She just hits the ball.
Just hits it. There's no thinking out there.
This match was over after Svitolina held at 1-1 after the 17-minute game in a third set. All right, Osaka, Svitolina.
Osaka, Svitolina. I've got Osaka. Svitolina's head-to-head is 3. She's up 3-2. The last time they played was in 2018, hard court, where Svitolina won. The last time Osaka beat her was in 2016 in Japan. I still give it to Osaka. I think she's a different player. She's a power hitter. Osaka in 3 sets.
All right, real quickly, that's the bottom half of the draw. So we have Serena meeting Osaka in the semis, Kvitova, Barty, and the other quarterfinal. Who you got?
Kvitova.
I got Kvitova as well. I think
they have never played.
Barty's going to be tough, but I think Kvitova has the experience to get her through. Pavlyuchenkova and Collins, who you got?
I'm going with the American Collins, and they've never played before.
I want Collins to win here because of simply she's been through the road of college and everything else and the doubters, and she has been a firecracker.
If she plays like she did with Kerber, she'll win.
It's a coin toss. If she plays like Kerber, if she plays like the way she did Kerber, no one will beat her on the planet.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Pavlyuchenkova here if I'm a betting person, just because of experience. All right, matches last night. Men's top half.
Djokovic finished a few hours. Novak Djokovic from Serbia defeated Medvedev, Daniil Medvedev from Russia in 4 sets. 6-4, 6-2, 6-7, 6-2, 6-3. So Djokovic won the first set, had a little letdown on the second one, and then cruised right along on the next 2 sets. I don't think any of these youngsters are ready for this guy. Look, this guy gets everything.
Medvedev is a great player. He's a great up-and-coming player. Djokovic just too much in this match.
He's too much.
As we said yesterday, just too much. Once Medvedev threw his racket, though, I'm like, why are you even doing that? You know what's even so funny is it was almost like you would look at his face, and it was almost like he was throwing his racket on purpose so he'd get some highlight reels, because he would throw his racket
and walk away,
and he would be so scared, like he would throw it like almost like, I've never done this before, but maybe it'll earn me views or something, so I'm gonna throw my racket. And as soon as it hit the ground, he would like back up. Most guys, when they're mad, they throw the racket, boom, and they'll be like in their racket's face and dare their racket to hit them in the face. But he would be like, oh, oh. Come on, man. You should.
I just think that Djokovic was the way better player. The experience took over. I mean, he was just out of his league. Medvedev was out of his league.
Yeah, out of his league. He squeaked out a set, so good for him. But a word to Medvedev: don't throw your racket. It's really unnecessary. You look like a schmuck, especially though when you throw it and it almost looks like pre-written. And you're telling yourself, I'm going to throw my racket, but oh, real quickly, I have to dodge out of the way so it doesn't hit me in the face. Come on, man.
Justin's feisty today.
Feisty.
All right, next match was Pablo Busta Carreño from Spain. Lost to Kei Nishikori from Japan in another 5-setter. What a shocker.
He's played a lot of sets, right?
7-6, 6-4, 6-7, 4-6, 7-6. Nishikori's now played 22 sets total.
Good stat.
That's a lot of sets to play for a Grand Slam. Honestly, I thought Nishikori would take this maybe in 3 sets, so he now faces Novak Djokovic, who I think Novak Djokovic will demolish him. I mean, Djokovic has only played 15 sets. He's fresh.
I thought Carreño Busta had a chance here, simply because Fognini's beard let Carreño Busta down in the match prior to that. As we know, Fognini plays better when his beard's perfectly shaved.
Well, I think Carreño Busta's better than Fognini.
I do too. I'm kidding. But Nishikori had played so many sets. We knew this. We talked about this yesterday. And now he's played another very long match. Djokovic now has what should be a very tired Nishikori in the quarterfinal. And I have Djokovic winning that match in 4 sets.
Yeah, the last time they played was 2014. And, I mean, 2014 was the last time he beat Djokovic. Can you imagine that? 2014, that's a long time ago.
Well, it's going to be later than this tournament before he has a chance to beat Djokovic again. Djokovic will win this match.
Head-to-head, 15-2. 15-2.
Djokovic will win this match in no more than 4 sets, and more than likely straight sets.
All right, next match was Milos Raonic from Canada defeated the guy I had on my fantasy group, Alexander Zverev from Germany. Easily, 6-1, 6-1, 7-6. This was a disaster match to watch.
I watched the whole thing.
I've never seen such garbage in my life. A young man smashing his rackets into pieces, looking up at Lendo like Lendo's going to help him. Honestly, after watching this, I don't enjoy watching Zverev at all.
I watched this match from the first ball strike to the very last. First set, Raonic just opened up a can of whoop butt on him 6-1. Second set, same thing, whoop butt 6-1. At that point, Zverev commenced to sit down and get his racket and smash the daylights out of it. But the biggest thing for me here, forget the racket smashing. Again, in my opinion, you have to be a real schmuck to smash a racket. There's so many kids in this world. The other day I saw a kid in like Rwanda or Kenya stringing an old tennis racket with a stick.
Yeah.
With a stick. Why don't you not break your
Just
tennis
donate
racket
your
and
racket.
just donate it to those
Donate it,
kids that are stringing the racket with sticks? I get upset about that. Hence one of the reasons why I woke up feisty, because a match that I watched until 1 in the morning last night, I had to watch this buffoon smash his racket. But the thing that made me mad is there was a ball girl, 2 of them. Go back and look at the film.
They're crossing him as he's smashing.
They're crossing him. 2 girls, young ladies, are walking right in front of him. He gets his racket, has no care for the graphite shards that can cut you. Believe me, I've been cut with graphite shards before. Smash, smash, smash. The ball girls were so scared they backed up and almost ran away. I'm not going to get into this. Zverev does not need to be discussed on this match at this point because he made a schmuck display.
He can't be a Grand Slam champion like that, in my opinion.
So we're going to not talk about Zverev's abhorrent display of tennis last night, and more importantly, sportsmanship. Raonic drilled him. The only problem I have with Raonic in this match is that third set where it was tight, went 7-6. He never hit his backhand. Slice, 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 slice. So he was trying to push his way to the finish line. Unfortunately,
maybe he was a bit tired.
Unfortunately, Raonic will face Pouille next, and we'll get into that quickly for time.
Lucas Pouille from France defeated his boy, Kyrgios, in 4 sets. 6-7, 6-4, 7-5, 7-6. I didn't expect him to win this match.
I didn't either, but both of these guys, Pouille and Kyrgios, have been favored to be hot shots for a long time.
Well, Emily Mauresmo, because she's his coach. So yeah. She's making a big difference.
Yeah, so Mauresmo made a difference with Murray, and now she's made a difference. Pouille, as it seems. Sorry Kyrgios lost, but Pouille has been in this same top 10 eventual conversation, or top 5, or top 3 for a long time.
He's in the quarters now.
I think Raonic, though, will go through Pouille.
Well, he's up his head-to-head is 3-0.
Yeah, I think Raonic will beat Pouille in, say, 3 to 4 sets. But I can tell you what, if Raonic tries to slice his backhand all day long against Djokovic in the semifinals, Djokovic is going to destroy Raonic.
I think Raonic will get through.
Raonic needs to hit his backhand. All right, so you and I have Raonic and Djokovic meeting the semis. I have Djokovic sailing to the final.
I think so.
That's as long as Raonic keeps hacking away at his backhand.
Yes.
Bautista Agut against Tsitsipas. Who you got?
I'm going with Tsitsipas, but I think it'll be a 5-setter.
I'm going to go with Bautista Agut in 4.
Okay.
Tiafoe playing Nadal. Who you got?
Nadal destroyed the young American.
I have
3 sets.
I have ultimate destruction by Nadal and very decisive.
He's a different type player.
So I think we'll see 2 Spaniards. I think we'll see Bautista Agut and Nadal in the semis in this half.
Nadal, take Tsitsipas. I have a different.
So I have a Nadal Djokovic final.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Great job, Carla. And again, I came today feisty for 2 reasons. Number 1, because I stayed up to watch a match. I watched it go so lopsided, and then I watched ball girls run for their lives when a young punk was smashing his racket into bits. Okay, that's just my feelings, and I'm passionate about racket smashers. I don't like it. I think there's no need for it, period. You can hate me, doesn't matter. Racket smashers is just something that the world does not need. Kind of like Kyrgios' attitude, but you know what? It sells. Kind of like Medvedev. It looks like he was choreographed to break his racket because he was so scared of it hit him, he ducked out of the way. Anyway, moving forward. Health tip of the day. This is basically a shout out to Martin Luther King again. Okay? Always believe in yourself and always follow your dreams. Okay? I know life is tough, and I know a lot of times we wake up and we just don't feel like attacking the day, right? We have 5 kids. Every day, do we want to get up and do 5 kids all the time? No, but we know we have to believe in ourselves. We know we have to make our kids successful or do the best that we can to do so. So you and I always wake up, pump ourselves up, try to do this show, try to do our best. You know what? I might be feisty one day.
That's all right.
It's all right. That's me.
We can't always be smiling or happy or, you know, we all go through our ups and downs, but you keep fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always believe in yourself. Always follow your dreams. And never let anyone take you down because life is tough. People will try to tear you apart. Don't let them. Believe in yourselves and forget about all the racket smashers and nonsense. Cool?
Well said.
Easier said than done,
yes.
But who needs a racket smasher? So that's it, everyone. Have a very, very spectacular day. Stay positive. Even though I'm feisty today, I'm still positive. Believe in yourself no matter what. Thanks so much to Ivor Savage and YTEX Strings for believing in Carla and I and entrusting us to do your play test and string test. Much love to you guys as individuals, the whole team and company. Please feel free, by the way, to contribute to our channel. There's a PayPal link below. Again, we don't get many of them, hardly, I think, 2 in so many years, but it helps, and we put a lot of time into this, and hopefully you enjoy it. Click a like below, subscribe to our channel, share our videos. That's how we grade ourselves. And as always, thanks so much to all of you. Without you, what we do is not possible.
Right. And any suggestions you have, leave them on the comments.
Leave comments below. Let's get the discussion started. And as Carla always says,
adios.
Let's go!